Hello, everyone. Listen, this little book right here called Acts of Faith. I was introduced to this book many, many years ago by a very special someone who was not only was she my boss, but she and I became friends after she left the job that I was working at. Anyway, she introduced me to this little book called Acts of Faith, and it's by Iyanla Van Zant. Van Zant? I always pronounce her name wrong, Van Zant. I'm sure you all are familiar with Iyanla. Iyanla was on the OWN network, Fix My Life. She has another TV show that's coming out on. Iyanla Van Zant has written a lot of self-help motivational books. This one, I do believe, was her first book that she wrote. And this young lady who was my boss, she gave me this book as a birthday gift. I recently rebought it again. I think I bought it again like maybe a couple of years ago. And it's the national bestseller. It's Daily Motivations for People of Color. And every day there is a different affirmation that you read. And as I said, I read this book front every day from I would read it. I would read it every year. I would start from January all the way to the end of the year. I would read it. I would read it. I read it. I read it so much that it just became, the pages became crumbly. So I said, I'm going to buy it again. It is a great book to give someone who likes to read affirmations or daily devotions. So I thought that I would share this with you guys. Let's see if we can get a thumbnail. Maybe. So, let me read what today's affirmation is. Today is January 26th. Happens to be my parents' wedding anniversary as well. This is what today's affirmation says. January 26th. Now in the book, she never puts a year. She just puts the date of the month. Because again, you can read this book year after year after year. It takes a deep commitment to change, an even deeper commitment to grow. Ralph Ellison. She gives you a quote from someone, and then in here she writes her commentary, and then at the bottom there is an affirmation. When you know you are thinking, saying, or doing things that are unhealthy or unproductive, you must do more than no. There must be a genuine, loving support for the self, in quotes, to make a change. Change does not mean replacing one bad habit for another. It does not mean beating up on yourself for feeling guilty or ashamed. Change means voluntarily removing yourself from the people and environment that support you in remaining unhealthy. Change means change means identifying what you are doing, recognizing when you are doing it, and gently guiding yourself to do something else. Change means not making excuses for yourself, but doing exactly what you say you will do. When you support yourself in making needed changes, you are supporting your own growth. Growth is the commitment to being, doing, and having the best. I am growing by thoughts, words, and deeds. Amen, somebody. So I thought that I had said that I was going to do this starting January 1st. Again, you all know the situation and what had happened with me. And so I didn't do it. But I want to start today reading you guys a daily, every day, I want to read you guys a affirmation from the book Acts of Faith. If you think you would be interested in this, let me know. And I'm going to include this in my videos that I do, my vlogs that I do for you guys Monday through Sunday or Sunday through Sunday. So every day, Sunday to Sunday, whether I do a short video like this or I include it in my videos. It can be, I might include it in, if I'm doing a fashion haul, I might include it when I'm doing the daily vlogs that I do when I'm on my way to work. But I think this is going to be a healthy way to start helping us be more healthier mentally and physically. And the most important, the thing is that it is important to be physically healthy, but it's also important to be mentally healthy. It is important to be spiritually healthy. Those three things we need, and they are essential to us being, not existing, but being. Our mental health, our physical health, and our spiritual health. If I happen to miss a day, what I will do is that I will go back and I will read from those days that I missed. But I want to start today, January 26th, reading what today's affirmation and reading is for this day. Now, we can go back all the way to the beginning, okay? And we can read from January 1st if you want me to start there or not, or we can just keep going. But this is a good book, and this book really changed my life in a lot of ways. It helped me grow in the areas that I needed for my mental and emotional health. And as I said, I when I was given this book as a gift from a friend and my boss, that was in 1998. And it is now 2026. And this book still, this little purple book, has a lot of power in it. If you are interested in getting this book, you can buy this book off of Amazon. You can buy this book anywhere where books are sold. If you want to read along with me, get this book. I'm not sure how much this book costs now, because at the time that I bought this, when this book was purchased for me, I think this book was like $15. I don't know how much I spent for this book, but I would love for you all to purchase this book, not just to read along with me, but I think that it would help you as well. Iyanla Vanzant, she is the epitome of just excellence. I was introduced to her, as I said, by someone, and I then introduced her to other people. And then when she started really evolving, and Oprah Winfrey was interviewing her, and then Oprah Winfrey retired from her talk show, the Oprah Winfrey Show, and started the OWN network and brought her on to that show. I have been following her for a very, very long time. She's an African American woman. I love Iyanla, and she has helped me so much. She has helped me grow so much in her reading. She has a plethora of self-help books, so many of them, and they all are top tier top tier 10 out of 10. So if you know someone who can benefit from this book, or if you need to get it for yourself, get it for yourself. I think this is a good book to give a young person who is just now evolving in their young adulthood. I think it's a good book to give a woman or a man who's going through the change of life, menopause. It's a book that everybody needs to read. And I like the fact that this book breaks it down by the date and not just by the year. So you can just keep reading it over and over and over again. Like I said, the first book that I was given, I wore that book out. I marked in it. I highlighted things. I wore it out. So I wanted a new, fresh book. Went down in my basement, looking for something and found this book. And I said, I'm going to bring this up and I'm going to read it to my YouTube subscribers, because we're always talking about mental health. We're always talking about trying to be emotionally healthy. All of the things, like I said, that's another one that we have to add. We can add physical, emotional, spiritual, mental. We need to be healthy. And when you open up this book, she says she dedicates the book to a few people in her family. She wrote this book in 1993. As I said, I was given the book it was copyrighted in 1993, and I was given the book in 1998. Okay, and when you open this up, it says she gives a scripture after you get through all the acknowledgments, and it said, I will be found by you, and I will bring you back from your captivity. I will gather you from all the nations and from all the places where I have driven you, and I will bring you to the place from which I caused you to be carried away captive. Jeremiah 29, chapter 29, verses 10 through 14. And in the introduction of this book, it says, the healing has begun. It began when you picked up this book. The goal of those offerings to assist the children of the earth in the redevelopment of their minds, bodies, and spirits. Who are the children of the earth? The children of a darker hue. For they are the ones born of the first father and mother. They are the ones who learn through trial and error how to bring forth the abundant richness of the earth. They are the ones who have the secret of the beginning and the end buried deep in their souls. These offerings are tools to be used to dig up the secrets so that they can be put to use. There are a few minor requirements to which one should adhere in order to realize the full value of the offerings. First, you must be open, ready, and willing to receive the information. Some of it will be new to you. Most of it you have heard at some time in some way. The difference is that now you will be willing to see, hear, and use the information to accomplish a goal, stress-free, peace-fulfilled living. You must be willing to accept that stress is the result of unfinished business. Unfinished business means that there are details which have not been taken care of. Those details are the basic foundation of what you do. What you do is live, and life must begin within. That is the second requirement. The third and final requirement is the willingness to reevaluate, reprogram, and rechannel your thinking. Stress will not go away until you decide it no longer has a place in your life. Obstacles and challenges will not stop until your perception of them changes. Difficulties and disappointments may not cease, yet you can see them in a different light, with a new sense of knowing everything in life is purposeful. There are 4 basic areas that create stress and imbalance for people of color: our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with the world, our relationship with each other. Something caught my eye. Our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with the world, our relationship with each other, and our relationship with money. Consequently, this book has been divided into those 4 sections. Each will provide you with offerings to consider and hopefully put to use in the restructuring your approach and perception. It does not matter who you are or what you are in any of those areas. You can make changes, realize improvement, and eliminate stress in all the relationships. Take time to read a statement daily. Write or repeat the affirmation so that it will make an imprint on your mind. 40 is the number of building foundations. You might want to try repeating the affirmation 40 times throughout the day. If you forget, 40 times will do as the number if you forget 4 times will do the number. 4 represents the cardinal elements: air, water, fire, earth, and the cardinal directions: north, south, east, west. If you can't do that, reading a page a day will still have an effect. There's something for everyone. Remember also, as a man soweth in his heart, so shall he reap. What you put into the process of freeing your mind and life from stress, you will get out of it. Change is not easy, yet it doesn't have to be difficult. A very dear astrologer friend of mine, Basil Freenet, once gave me a very good analysis of making change. I share it with you and hope that it will assist you. Buried deep in the earth are precious diamonds. In order to get to them, however, we must dig and dig deep. Once we get to the foundation rock, we must apply pressure to shape and mold the diamond. It is not the digging, it is the pressure that makes diamonds. Softness is what marshmallows are made of. Soft, sweet, easy to crumble under pressure, and no good for anybody. You are being challenged to decide what you want to be: a diamond or a marshmallow. Wait, I think I see a sparkle in your eye. The pressure is on and the healing has begun. May the glow from the sparkle in your eye bring light to all the world. I salute you and honor your greatness, Iyanla. So that is the introduction. And it's right here, Acts of Faith, and it is broken down in sections, the book. And the first book is about self. And it talks about yourself, about getting yourself together, healing oneself. So January 1st said, there is a power greater than myself who loves me exactly as I am. The stress began the day you learned you were expected to please other people. Parents wanted you to stay clean and be quiet. Neighbors wanted you to be respectful and helpful. Teachers wanted you to be attentive and alert. Friends wanted you to share and hang out. Whenever you failed to do exactly what someone expected of you, you weren't good or good enough. You were bad, weak, or dumb. Unfortunately, you began to believe it. Giving in to the demands day by day, you lost a little more of yourself. And you understanding of the truth. And your understanding of the truth. The truth is, you are fine. Just the way you are. Perfect in your imperfection. You are divine. Growing brighter and more brilliant each day. You can accept the truth of who you are. The next time you want to know who you are, what you are, or if something is the right thing to do, don't ask your neighbor. Ask the power within. And pay attention to the response. Come on here, somebody. The divine power within knows exactly who I am. This was January 1st. And I'm not going to read January 2nd all the way, all the way through, all the way up until now. But as I said, I will go back and read those if you want me to. But I wanted to start right here today, January 26th. And I plan to read one of these to you every day, if you want me to read them to you every day. Some people may be interested in this and some people may not. But I think it is imperative that we, and for me, in this time in my life right now with what's going on with me, I feel that it is imperative that I go back to reading Acts of Faith. Every book that Iyanla Vanzant has written, I have. I have them. I refuse to get rid of them. I have them, and I have read them all. I will admit and will say that I have fallen off sometimes from some of the teachings of Iyanla, but I've also gone back and reread them as I'm now reading Acts of Faith. And the thing about Acts of Faith is that you can read it over and over and over again. It reminds me of reading the Bible. When you read the Bible, you can read and you can memorize the Bible scriptures. But you sometimes will miss what you read and you need to go back and reread it again. And that's how Acts of Faith is, and many of Iyanla Vanzant, I can't get her name right, Vanzant's books are. Some of you all are probably familiar with Iyanla. If you don't know who she is, she has a Facebook page. She's on Instagram. She's on YouTube. And she now has a new show coming out, which I'm going to be watching. I think it launched at the beginning of January. It might be on, it may not be on, but I'm going to find her. I love her. I love her. I love her. I love her. She knows how to heal the soul and the spirit. You may not agree with everything that she writes or how she writes it, but it makes sense. She writes it in a way that it makes sense. It makes sense. And not only does it make sense, it's relatable. We talk about that all the time on this channel, about it being relatable. And if you are a human being walking around in this life, it's relatable. Okay, so that's going to be my new thing, and I meant to tell you all about it the beginning of January. But it's been a crazy 26 days. Today I thought about my uncle. I thought about him a lot today. I'm struggling. I am struggling. I'm admitting that openly, that I'm struggling. But I do want to read Acts of Faith. I do. And I want to be able to read it to you because I don't know who I'm going to be helping. I don't know who will need what I'm... I don't know who will need it. Somebody may need it. Doggone it. Y'all, I'm just messing up. Somebody may need it and somebody may not need it. But I think we all can need it. Because I think that we all need some type of, or some form of healing, you know? So, yeah. So anyway, you guys, I'm going to see you all later. And I hope you all had a great and wonderful day. Peace and love and blessings to you all. Peace.